We are continuing our Kids on Bike session here this evening. What we've just done is we have built a town. We have peppered it with rumors of shady things that are happening, and we've developed some relationships between our characters here to help us in figuring out what their story is going to begin, where it's going to begin. So let's review these details. Our adventure is going to be taking place in Tobinville, Indiana, where the meatpacking industry has fallen on hard times. If it wasn't for the kangaroo and horse meat industry coming in from Australia, perhaps we would be faring on better times, but we have the Pumpkin Festival to look forward to. I think our story is going to start on the day of the Pumpkin Festival.
I got my compass out and ready.
And because of the economic times of our town, people are looking forward to this celebration, this reason to just let loose and have some fun, carve some pumpkins, have some pumpkin spice lattes, whatever. I guess that was like later. That was like in the 2000s when that took off.
Yeah.
But it's foundation.
Bobbing for apples,
Right.
all that
Pumpkin
kind of stuff.
pie.
We were ahead
Pumpkin
of our
pie,
time in
yeah.
Tobinville. Yeah.
All over the pumpkin spice trend.
Yes.
You know, it's the Skunk Lodge is out there volunteering. You know, they're setting up picnic tables and setting up. They're getting ready for. There's a costume contest that's going to take place, and there's a pumpkin pie competition, all sorts of stuff, and they're out there in full force, helping out. And there's the big homecoming game is tonight. The Fighting Orange.
Go Fighting Orange!
They're facing off against it's like a really sore point because you're facing off against a team that's called the Stallions.
Oh.
And so it's like really digging
Ooh, horse meat.
it in that things are not good. There are some rumors about town that competitors may have sabotaged the McDougal farm, which produces many of the pumpkins in town. So, a UFO was sighted the night before. Maybe there's a connection. You don't want your kids to eat the hot lunch at school. The meat has an odd texture. Where do they source this meat? Kids who eat the hot lunches are very complacent. And there's a network of tunnels under the city where the Skunk Lodge are said. It's rumored that they might use that. They're back from the old rum running days, but maybe the skunks still use it as a secret location. Maybe they sacrifice people. Or maybe it's where some of this Australian meat is being smuggled in from. And there is a new freeway that is not going to have an exit to Tobinville. Alright. So, why don't you all roll a d20?
Oh, go ahead.
I have metal dice. I didn't have room to take 17.
5.
14.
7.
14's high?
7.
Or 17, okay. So, that's the context, is here in Tobinville we have the Pumpkin Festival, the games tonight. It's probably like maybe the game is starting in 30 minutes or so. Where do you think help me out.
Martha?
It was Martha.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Martha. Yes. Well, where am I? Well, Harold is working late tonight. He works late quite often. He's just very important, very busy. And I'm
Yeah,
getting
I bet
my
he's busy.
2 daughters ready for the game. We're gonna go, and they're wearing, of course, matching Fighting Orange outfits, and I have their hair in little pigtails, and they just look precious. They're just picture perfect.
All right, so you're attending the game here.
Oh yes, I support the Tobinville, all of their endeavors.
Yeah, this is like everyone's basically going to the game. It's kind of tradition to go to the game right before going to the Pumpkin Festival. So this fits, and then probably you're planning to meet Harold out
Yeah,
at the pumpkin
you know,
festival
if he
later?
can get away from work, yes, absolutely.
He's doing double duty, like double shifts, in
very
light
important,
of
very busy man.
yeah.
Double duty.
Yeah, double duty for sure.
How about where does the story pick up for Eugene?
Well, I like to build mathematical models to try to predict the game and who will win. So I gather all the stats of all the players and stuff like that, and it helps that I sometimes am allowed to do the stat keeping in the press box with the announcer guy, who's up there going, first down, Fighting Orange, yay! And so that's what I'm like. I'm actually in the press box thing, like, just finishing up my statistical model, and we're gonna.
Sounds good. So you're at the game as well.
Mm-hmm.
It sounds like you're even kind of like doing this as a volunteer kind of thing, like helping the guys out with the calls and jotting down the stats and all that. How about Bartholomew?
Well, Bartholomew's afraid of crowds, fear of crowds, so he doesn't go to the game. But he likes to see the game, so he'll go to a high hill or something with his binoculars and watch the game from there.
You wonder how the rumors start.
Okay. Tommy, what are you doing on the day of the game of the Pumpkin Festival?
Probably getting into some mischief. Like, I'll go to the game, but I'm not gonna watch it. I'm gonna hang out under the bleachers and I don't know, poke people's butts with sticks or something and steal money from their pockets.
Okay.
And
Lots
just
of change falls down there.
yeah, exactly, and just or whatever, just do stuff under the bleachers.
Yeah. Sounds good. Shady stuff happens underneath
Sure, yeah,
the
of course.
bleachers and
Spy on the high schoolers making out. Yeah, sure.
so I think as the story begins, the game is going pretty well, but at halftime it's pretty much a standstill. It's like 7-7, and so it's really tense. There's a lot of tension on the air. You can feel it up in the announcer's box, and the crowd is just it's cold, it's kind of chilly, but people, their school spirit is in full swing. They've got people that are just painted orange, not wearing a coat. And Bartholomew, you're watching with your binoculars, and something catches your eye. There's a glint or something off on the horizon. You notice it kind of beyond. The lights have just turned on. It's getting maybe about that dark, but there's something that's moving, across the horizon.
They're out there again. I knew they'd come back.
What an old prank.
So you're just up on the hill, kind of muttering to yourself, confirming that you weren't crazy, you knew it all along. And how about back in the stadium? The game picks up. We're in the third quarter now.
Well, I'm clearly reanalyzing my statistical model because I thought there was only about a 15% chance that the Stallions would even be within 7 points of us at halftime. And so I'm also running to go get a soda from the concession stand because my dad gave me a quarter to get something to eat from there. And I dropped it under the bleachers, so I have to go down there.
Okay.
And
So
try.
you end up down underneath the bleachers where you see, and maybe it's kind of coming to light, you're remembering this plan that you had to carve pumpkins later.
Oh, hey, did you see my quarter? It fell right over that way.
No, but I've got $1. That's better. Here you go.
Oh, thanks. Hey, are we still gonna carve jack-o'-lanterns later?
I guess.
Okay, cool. Because I've got two two compasses now, so I can do double time. I can do the eyes double time.
That's the lamest thing ever, but yeah, I'll be there.
All right, cool. Hey, I'm going to get a soda. You want one? It's your $1.
I don't want a stupid soda from you, jerk.
But it's your $1.
Fine, get me a root beer.
Okay.
So, Martha, you hear, like, just underneath, like, your seat, like, some kind of, like, chattering going on, and you see, like, an exchanging of money between these two kids.
Alice, what are you doing down there? Are you corrupting that young, nice Eugene? You children, get out from under those bleachers.
I
Okay,
don't have to listen
Mrs.
to
A.
you.
Oh yeah. We don't have to.
Come on, Eugene. You know, it's dangerous down there. Something could fall on your head.
Yeah, that's probably right.
You're a very smart young man.
It's not safe down here, Tommy.
Come on, Eugene. Forget Martha. We're fine. Let's go carve jack-o'-lanterns.
Okay, but can we get that soda first?
Fine, yeah, whatever.
See you, Mrs. A. I'm leaving the under the bleachers.
You good boy. Have a nice night. Have fun.
I will, thank you.
So then you guys go to, like, the concession stand or whatever.
2 root beers, please.
And you have a nice soda, and the game eventually ends, and there was a decisive play where the quarterback of the Fighting Oranges made a clutch play, like he did like a, I don't know. He actually ended up running it into the end zone himself, and scored the final touchdown. Everyone's excited, and
Just like my Harold did back in the day.
yeah.
Oh my goodness.
So I imagine it sounds like the three of you are going to end up heading to the Pumpkin Festival. What about Bartholomew? What are you doing? As the game is ending, you're seeing like the crowds of people like leaving the field.
Do I see any more lights off in the distance?
You saw like that one for like maybe 30 seconds. It just kind of like streaked, and it moved very unnaturally, very smoothly.
Okay, I write it down in my mark it in my logbook there that of the latest sighting, and I'll return home
Okay.
because I've got some more accounting work to do to finish up.
All right, so you end up returning home. Let's go to the three of you as you're heading to the Pumpkin Festival. You can see, it's kind of like there's like a park in town where all the tables are laid out, and there's all sorts of different activities that one could engage in. There's bobbing for apples, there's pies for sale, there's there's like a costume contest. So you see, maybe you're actually seeing like a lot of people as you go home, because people are returning home to like change into their costume for the contest. And as you are approaching Eugene, you see Old Man Jeffers. He's a member of the Skunks, the Skunk Lodge, and he's got his Skunk Lodge like hat on, and he's over by like the pumpkin carving table, and he sees you and he's like, "Oh, hey Eugene, you gonna help me out again this year?"
Yeah, Mr. Jeffers, but first, me and Tommy are gonna carve up some of our own pumpkins quick.
Oh,
If we can.
well,
Is it not safe?
oh, it's okay. It's just we're a little short on pumpkins this year.
Oh no.
Yeah, there's most of our pumpkins, came from the McDougal farm, and I don't know, something happened out there, and you might be able to help me out. I think I heard there's another place where we could get more pumpkins.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, and I'm worried. This is a big crowd. This is an anniversary. of the pumpkin festival. So this crowd, you know, it's going to be a huge demand for these. So, do you have like a wagon or?
Yeah, I could go get one from the garage. My parents have one.
Okay,
Yeah.
that sounds good. If you could, I know that there is a wild pumpkin patch out by the windmill.
Oh, on the McAllister farm.
Yeah. Out by the McAllister farm. And maybe you could just run out there and grab some pumpkins and bring them back. That'd be a huge help.
Sure. You have a map, right, Tommy?
Yeah, but come on, Eugene. There's only one road into town.
Well, okay. I mean, I'm a little directionally challenged, that's all. My dad says if I would lose my head if it wasn't attached or something weird like that. I never listen to him.
Yeah, don't bother listening to your parents.
Right?
Whatever. That's fine, Eugene. I gotcha. Alright, let's get our bikes and go get a wagon.
Yeah, alright.
All right.
See you later, Mrs. A.
Bye.
So, Martha, you notice that Eugene and Tommy are kind of like heading down out of the pumpkin festival, and they're going down really like the only road that would like make sense for them to go down, and they're walking on the side of the road where Bartholomew's house is.
Those children. I just don't think it's a good idea. Holly, Ivy, you stay right here by the pie contest, and you keep Mr. What's his name? Old Man Jeffers in sight. He'll keep an eye on you. I'm gonna go after those children. I just want to make sure they're safe. So I follow.
You even see Bartholomew in the distance. He's got binoculars, and he's like
If
kind of
only there were
moving.
cell phones in this day and age.
I'm burning.
He's burning.
So I march down the sidewalk. I'm not going to confront him, but I am going to just make sure that he leaves those children alone. Honestly.
So, the two of you are moving down the street, and you see your uncle up ahead, and he's like looking up with these binoculars.
Okay. Jeez, I wonder what my crazy Uncle Bart is up to.
Oh, that's your uncle?
Yeah.
Oh, neat. He was a really good chess player, but I think he was cheating.
Probably. People think he's the town weirdo. But, you know. I guess.
Well, I
I don't
mean-
know. He's always up to some kind of weird conspiracy. Ooh, let's go talk to him.
Yeah. Well,
And
maybe,
see what kind and make fun of him.
Yeah. Okay. Maybe he's got a wagon we could use. It's way closer than my house.
Yeah, okay, sure, wagon, whatever.
Yeah. Okay. Eye on the prize. Wagon.
Hey, Uncle Bart, how are you?
Oh, you're Tommy, aren't you?
Yes, Uncle Bart.
It's been a while since you've been to my house.
Well, I'm sorry about that. I've been really busy with school.
It's a nice night for stargazing.
What kind of stars are you seeing?
Well, I seen a light moving across the sky
Statistically, that's probably a shooting star.
when the game was going on.
Yeah. I was reading the other day, and the analysis shows that like 98.888 continuing, which isn't usually percent of UFO reportings are actually shooting stars.
Yes, I heard that plenty of times. People tell me that all the time when I tell them about moving light across the sky.
Do you think it was really a UFO, Uncle Bart?
Well, we are near Area 50, you know.
What's Area 50?
I'd rather not discuss it right now.
So it's about at this point, Martha,
Yeah.
you see like the kids are talking to him.
Well, hello there, Mr. What is your last name?
Well-
Your first name. Can I just make one?
Bartholomew.
What's your last name?
Oh, I didn't get that
Okay,
far.
I'm naming both of you guys. Well, hello there, Mr. Nelson. Isn't it a lovely... Did you get a chance to take in the game tonight?
Yeah, I did.
Oh, it was right down to the wire. What are you all doing here? You kids, I thought, wouldn't you want to be at the festival?
Well, we were on an errand for Mr. Jeffers to get more pumpkins for the festival, because
That's a very important job.
Yes, Mrs. Allen. We were on our way to get in a wagon. He said there was a pumpkin packed with extra pumpkins.
Oh, really? Yes, I heard about the pumpkin shortage. I don't know what was going on over at the McDougal's farm this year, but it's just a severe disappointment for us pie makers. If you're getting some pumpkins, what are you doing here with Mr. Nelson?
oh, that's Tommy's uncle, Bart.
Oh, your uncle.
Yeah, we were just talking to my uncle Bart.
Okay.
He said he saw a shooting star.
Well, I didn't
Yeah.
actually determine what it was. I said it was a moving light across the sky.
Uh-huh. Do you have a wagon, Mr. B? N?
Just a station wagon.
You have a station wagon?
Yes.
Well, maybe we could fit way
Oh.
more pumpkins in that.
I don't think you should bother Mr. Nelson
I
right
can
now.
drive, whatever.
If you need a ride, I can give you a ride.
Well-
Holly and Ivy are at the festival with Old Man Jeffers, and they're just doing a wonderful job with their pies. Why don't I give you children a ride, and you can get as many pumpkins as you want in my station wagon at the back, all cleaned out.
Don't you have one of those little bitty Volkswagens?
No, because I have my children to transport. We need a lot of room to be able to fit all their friends and their sporting equipment. I am a soccer mom.
Oh. Okay.
Ugh, now we got roped into this. Fine. Give us a ride. The sooner we can get there.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
I'll just go home.
Well, come on, Mr. N. Why don't you come with?
Yeah,
Or
maybe there'll
we
be
could
more shooting star sightings.
Oh yeah. And plus, we could get twice as many pumpkins than with two vehicles.
In fact,
Okay,
when you
take
saw
it.
the UFO, it was like going in that direction where the windmill is.
Yeah. Should check out that area a little bit more.
So
It'd
I'll
be a
take
good
the
idea.
kids, and you can take your car and follow, and we'll just all go out to where the McAllister windmill is, right? Is that the
McAllister,
wild?
the old McAllister windmill, huh?
Mhm.
Heard some things. Yeah, sure.
Okay, great.
What
Come
kind
on,
of
kids.
things,
Come
Mr.
on
Grant?
now. Tommy, come on, and Eugene, you can sit in the front.
Yeah. I never get to sit in the front.
Great. I've got the barf bag in the back.
Yeah, Ivy gets a little car sick. Okay.
So,
Where's Mr. A tonight, Mrs. A?
Well, he's at work.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
working hard over at Wholesome Meats Incorporated.
Yeah, okay.
Working late again, is he?
I know, he's so dedicated.
I heard that he has a new secretary. She's 22.
She's so bright. She's a treasure. I don't know what he would do without her. He
Yeah,
speaks of her all the time.
Janine Schrader, right? Yeah, she won the Mrs. Pumpkin Fest last year.
Oh,
Not
that's
everybody
right.
can land a secretary like my Harold can.
Yeah. I hear she works a lot of overtime too.
Mhm.
Yeah, she's
She's
a very
as
hard
dedicated
worker.
as he is. Yes,
Yeah.
they're a good team over there.
I hear that. Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay.
so
I'll meet you over there then.
All right, that
Since
sounds
no
good.
one wants to ride shotgun with me.
I think it's just best if we, the kids ride with me, and then we'll meet you there. Okay.
Oh, okay.
I'm used to children. I have
There'll
them
be
around.
more. Then there'll be more room for all your equipment in the back.
equipment.
Yeah, your
Oh, I
alien
should
hunting
go.
equipment.
Yeah, I should load that in.
shooting stargazing equipment.
All right.
I know
All
he's
right.
your Uncle Deary, but
So you all are basically
We're not close.
transporting yourselves over to where the windmill is, over by the farm, and so you head out of town. And is there any kind of conversation that's happening in the car on the way? now
seatbelts
that-
on. And you too, Tommy.
Fine.
All right, good girl.
All right. So You know, it's probably like, I don't know, 10-minute drive out of town. You even you get that meat packing like smell once you're on the outskirts of town near like the industrial park where Harold is working tonight.
Weird, there's no lights on at the plant.
They're conserving energy, you know, with all the cutbacks and everything because of that meat conspiracy. Yeah, they have to be careful out there.
So you head out into the countryside and you see, you know, the tall, not very well maintained windmill, I would suppose. And it's kind of bleak, you know, it's dark at this point, so the only light that you have is from the headlights.
I have a flashlight in my bag.
Oh, okay. So once you get out of the car, you know, you'll be able to help poke around.
Getting late, it's dark out here, guys.
Stay close. I've got a light.
And
For those roots, don't trip.
doesn't, you know, you kind of, there's like a dirt road that like goes out there. It's a little overgrown, but you're able to get up like in park near the windmill, and you can see
Man, where's this pumpkin patch?
You can see it off in the distance, kind of like there's a tree line off in the distance, and you can see that there is like kind of this big, kind of gnarly patch of
Feral pumpkin.
white pumpkins and.
How far do we have to walk?
I'll
Well-
drive up as close as I can.
It's the best to get pumpkins that are fairly symmetrical because they're easiest to draw circles on.
Yeah, sure, Eugene. Symmetrical, whatever. And I just start like tossing pumpkins into the back.
Okay, so you
Brush the dirt off, honey, okay? It's a lot better that way. Just brush it off. Brush. And then...
Oh, I can't lift this one. Barty, can you get this really big pumpkin?
Well, I'll try. I'm not exactly the strongest. I'm an accountant, you know.
Do you have a secretary too?
No.
Oh, okay.
So you're hauling these pumpkins into the station wagon, and you're kind of catching like a whiff of like campfire or something like that. Seems to be coming from like that tree line.
Huh.
Oh no, forest fire!
No, what if somebody accidentally dropped a match?
Only us
Why
can
does
prevent
someone
forest
burn
fires.
these?
Only us can prevent forest fires.
Yeah,
He has a
okay,
point.
Smokey.
Huh?
Never can be too safe.
You know that
Be too safe.
certain percentage of forest fires are always caused by campers, etc., etc. Another statistical.
You're just so smart, Eugene. Your mother must be so proud of you.
I have
My
a
mom's
shovel.
a
I'll go
drunk.
look, see if I can put it out if it's getting out of hand.
Okay.
So you're heading into the forest.
Yeah, I'll try to find where the smoke is coming from.
All right. And the rest of you are staying put, kind of.
I'll shine the light for you, Mr.
I
Nelson.
came prepared. I have my miner's cap with
Yeah.
light on.
Oh, you're just so clever, Mr. Nelson. That's such a unusual thing to have handy.
Always one step ahead,
That's-
always one move ahead, right?
One of
Mr.
my
Ed?
strengths is being prepared.
Yeah, I'm just so impressed.
Hey guys, isn't this where that kid went missing 10 years ago?
We don't need to talk about that, Alice. I mean, Tommy.
I'm just saying.
Those are horrible stories. We don't want to scare anybody.
It's horrible.
Missing
memories.
kids?
Yeah.
Now you've upset Eugene.
You mean the kid from the chess club? I'm in the chess club!
It's
No.
okay, dear. You're safe. We're
No.
here.
Calm your shorts, Eugene.
This is coming up in the pumpkin patch. You guys are kind of like Eugene's freaking out. You're telling this story. Maybe you're even telling the story more because it's bothering him.
Of course.
And then Bartholomew, you're heading into the forest, and you've got your light going.
Yeah, I'm walking a little faster to get away from this conversation.
Yeah,
It's
you're-
bad memory.
The bad memories. of
Memories.
Former student.
I'm being accused.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
So, the scent is getting stronger. You're crunching on leaves. You know, you're kind of. It's not so thick that you can't walk, but you know, occasionally you do have to like pull back branches to like continue to progress forward, and you do kind of see a light up ahead, like an orange. I wouldn't say like. It doesn't seem like the whole forest is burning down or something, but there's something. Maybe it's about the brightness of a very large fire, like a campfire, but you're not really too sure. It's still too thick, too obscured.
All right, I'll try to get close enough that I can get a clear view of what's going on. And if I'm getting close enough that I don't need the light, then I'll switch that off too.
Okay. Make a. I feel like you need to make a check right here. Make well, maybe not yet. So you approach, and maybe you turn your light off, and you're looking. And what you see is kind of like an effigy or something of a person like burning, and you see like all these black hooded figures. They were in like black and white robes.
The skunks!
The aliens! They've landed here!
And a couple of the hooded figures, like you could see their necks like kind of snap, and like they've noticed that there's somebody out there. You know, maybe they saw your light, maybe they just heard your exasperation a little bit. What do you do?
I go tearing back out of the woods.
Okay, make a flight check.
You need to roll the 10 instead.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Yep. That looks good.
9.
9.
Yeah.
Okay. So you start tearing through, like you're not really caring about like brushing away the branches, so you're getting like kind of some superficial like scrapes and cuts as you guys are having this conversation. Probably still, you know, Martha's probably calming the kids.
It's a ghost story. Every town has
Ghosts?
them.
We have ghosts?
It's not
That
real.
kid was 12 years old.
No!
And then all of a sudden, out of the forest, Bartholomew is bloodied, and he's saying, "UFOs, aliens! Oh my God!"
Oh my lord! Mr. Nelson, calm down. Don't scare the children.
They're in there!
Of course
Whoa,
they
whoa.
are, honey.
They've
Of
got
course they
hooded-
are.
Hoods!
Mm-hmm.
Go see for yourself if you don't believe me.
What did you see, Uncle Bart?
I'm not going back in there.
I'm gonna get a car!
Yeah, why don't you go sit in the car, Eugene? Was there a fire? Did you see any fire?
Yes.
There was a fire, okay.
Then the aliens were dancing around it.
And the aliens are dancing around it. Okay, so you know what we should
This
do?
isn't aliens. I'm gonna go look.
Oh, no, honey. Tommy.
Tommy,
It's
be
not a
careful!
good idea. We'll go back and we'll tell Mr. Mr. Anderson, the firefighter, and he can come and check this out.
No, it's probably nothing. He thinks everything are aliens.
Exactly, so we don't need to go in there. We'll just,
What if
do
it's
that.
something cool?
It's... You get in the car right now, lady.
No.
Get in the car.
No.
I will tell your mother.
She won't care. She doesn't care about me at all. She just drinks all day.
This is depressing and scary.
Fine, if you're gonna go, I will go with you to make sure that you're okay.
Whatever.
You can
I don't
stay in
need
the
you.
car if you want to.
By
Eugene.
myself?
Or come with
You'll
me.
be with crazy Uncle.
No,
Uncle
okay.
Bart.
Why don't we all go into the? We'll just all go and we'll just see what it is.
I'm not going back.
Fine, you can sit in your car and I'll take the children to go check this out.
Oh boy.
It's okay. We'll see what it is. It's probably nothing. It's
Take out
probably
my
a prank.
Or my
You
compass.
know,
Dear.
Pumpkin Festival pranks. It happens every year. I have the flashlight. Let's just go check it out.
I just take off into the woods.
Okay,
Tommy,
so
come back!
you're running
I
ahead.
have a sharp object!
And
I
I'm
can't run with it!
following.
Okay.
I can't run with this
Trying
sharp
to
object!
position between the two children here.
All right, Bartholomew, what are you doing?
I'm having a discussion with myself whether I should go and help them or stay away from the aliens because I don't think it will turn out well if I go back in.
Okay.
So I'm having a debate.
You're just like in the pumpkin patch, like,
1.2% chance there could be aliens.
I'm gonna get blamed again? I just know.
So, that sounds good. The three of you, you're tearing forward and making a game of it. You're a kid, so you're able, unlike him, you're able to navigate like these brambles a little bit easier. And eventually, like as you're sprinting through, you kind of catch that smoky smell a bit, and
Human flesh. Just kidding.
you see like a fire up ahead.
Huh.
But again, obscured. You can't really see what's going on, but you
Okay.
you just see like the light, and you can sense that it's like an orange, like a fire
Okay.
that's producing the light.
Huh. Okay. So there is a bonfire out here. Who'd have a bonfire out here? Better go investigate.
Oh, jeepers! Could we just stay over here where it's safer?
You can stay behind. I'm gonna go look.
We'll just follow it. It'll be fine.
Okay.
You'll be with me, and we'll just make sure, and then we'll see what it is. And we can go
Nothing
back.
weird could possibly be happening in the woods.
It's just a prank. It's just a prank.
It's probably just some high schoolers getting high.
Right. Hi, what's
Don't
that?
say that word.
Is that like they're climbing trees?
Yeah, exactly. They're probably climbing the trees in the forest.
Okay.
You know how high schoolers can be. Come on, let's go.
So
Such a
I
bad influence.
start peering through, kind of like he was doing, getting closer to the source of the light, and I don't know, do I see them or have they gone?
You don't see any figures. What you do see, you get close, and you see, it looks like somebody's like made, basically like a piñata of a horse that is on fire.
I thought you said it was an effigy of a person.
That's what the conspiracy theorists saw.
Oh, okay. Okay. So I'm seeing a large horse.
Yeah,
Is it, and it's lit?
it's lit.
Okay. What the heck? You guys, come and see this. This is totally weird. He wasn't lying when he said it was weird. It's not aliens, but it's weird.
Okay.
I knew that there's only a 1%
We'll just
chance
show.
it could have been
Yeah,
aliens.
yes, we'll go see, and you can see for sure what
Okay.
it is.
So as you all kind of are approaching, like you see like the rings of like what might have been like a 6-pack. You see some crushed beer cans. There's an orange, fighting orange like hat like near the fire.
Okay.
Those naughty high schoolers.
It could have been people of legal drinking age.
Yes, dear, because we always go out to the forest to drink.
Ugh. It was just some stupid high school party.
Why would you burn a horse?
Well, the Stallions are the mascot
Oh, that's
of the
right.
other team. You know, from Kentucky.
Yeah, the border rivalry we have with the Kentucky Stallions.
They're from Derby, Kentucky.
Yeah. And derbies all have horses, and we hate horses because, right, the meat thing?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, yeah.
See, nothing to be afraid of. It's
Right,
just some
yeah.
people breaking a few laws, making a mess, but nothing to worry about.
I don't know.
This
Seems
root beer
kinda
tastes
suspect.
funny.
Did you still bringing that with you, honey? You should just
No, I
finish that.
picked up
Oh, don't drink that. Put that down. Somebody could have had their mouth on
Gee,
there.
That's not root beer.
Oh,
It says beer on it.
yeah.
You could get germs that way.
Bartholomew, you're over by the pumpkin patch, and you hear like a creaking coming from the where the windmill is. Kind of like a door, like a.
Oh.
And from your perspective, you can't see a door. You're on like the back side of the windmill, so the back side of the windmill is facing where the pumpkin, this wild pumpkin patch is. but like the car is parked over on that side. I think probably would have been like you probably wouldn't have risked driving through
Oh,
the.
not with my new station
You probably
wagon.
went just as far as the
So
road,
would
which
he
led
too,
up to
right?
the
Betcha.
windmill.
Harold had to work a lot of overtime for that station
Harold
wagon.
worked hard to pay for that.
What do you do?
I'm going to make a decision to follow them because I don't want to check out the game. I'm too afraid that I'll see the aliens again, so I'm going to go back to try and find where they are.
Okay.
Safety in numbers. Safety in numbers.
Sounds good. So Bartholomew rejoins the group over by the burning horse pinata.
See, Mr. Nelson, it was high schoolers doing a prank.
Hey, Uncle Bart, is this what you saw?
No, they're gone now.
Who's gone?
The aliens. They're no longer here.
The aliens drink this funny tasting root beer?
I don't know what they drink.
I don't know what they do. Hey guys, that's what I found. There's like some white and black fur over here. That's not high schoolers. I mean, what would high schoolers be doing with skunk caps or something? Or fur?
Well, it might just be part of our town heritage. Kids will do silly things there. I remember one year, stealing from the lodge was just such a it's like joyriding cars. They just go in there and they take stuff and they think they've accomplished something.
Huh.
The windmill was making strange noises too.
It does that.
It's an old decrepit
It's been there a long
windmills.
time.
Spooky.
I think, you know what? Maybe we're just all a little excited tonight, Mr. Nelson. Maybe we need to get back to the city.
Right,
No,
they're gonna
to
run
go
out
to
of
the
pumpkins
house.
soon.
They're
I don't
depending
know.
on us.
Don't you think we should call the fire department and put out this fire?
Well, we can do that as well. I, do not have a non-existent cell phone with me, so we can go back to the, festival and get.
When
the
did
fire
they have
department here.
phone cars? Or,
Car
Car
phones?
phones.
Oh,
That was like
yeah.
early 90s.
Harold is
Yeah.
only middle management.
Yeah, he doesn't have the big
Ooh,
block
we
cell
could
phone
send
yet.
smoke signals. Anybody have a blanket?
Let's just go
Got
back
it,
to the
Gene.
cars.
It's dark out. They can't see the smoke.
Oh, you're so smart.
That's why I'm good at chess. And I don't cheat.
Who said anything about cheating, Mr. N?
People always think that.
Oh, yeah.
They're always.
Well, I mean, it was
Against me.
suspicious that game in 71 when you beat that weird Bobby Fischer kid.
Yeah, well. He got lucky the next year.
Suddenly, you hear like a low groan from like the woods.
Oh, you don't want. Let's not go over there. We don't want to see what's going on over there.
No, we don't. No, no, no.
Those high schoolers are still out here. We really don't need to be seeing that.
Since when do high schoolers groan like that?
Well, maybe someday.
Oh, can I
Yeah, you hear it again. It sounds like it's coming from like a large animal, maybe.
Sounds
We,
like
we don't think it's that kind of a sound.
Oh, yeah. No, not anymore.
Anyone out there?
Oh my gosh.
Then you can kind of hear like what almost sounds
Call them
like
over here.
an animal moving like kind of quickly through brush. Like you kind of hear like sounds like it's a four-legged something.
It's probably just a deer.
Is it getting closer?
I position myself in front of the children. Just stay behind me.
Okay.
I
No
get
problem.
behind you too.
Just let it pass.
It stops. You can't really see it. You can kind of see like the shadow of movement. Like it's just beyond like the light of the fire, but it stopped, and you can kind of sense that it's just like kind of moving about. Maybe it's seen you, and maybe that's why it stopped. But
Gee, Uncle Bart, is it Bigfoot?
I don't know.
Whatever it please. Let's just.
I think it came from that moving light that I seen earlier.
All right, so we've got a four-legged alien that ate the high school kids. Oh my goodness, it's gonna eat us.
It-
Gene.
It suddenly like, it seems like you hear like a couple of like, and then like it turns and you sense that it's like moving away from you.
Something else.
Well, it's not me.
It's the skunks. Skunks smell.
Yes.
Maybe.
I mean, I'm pretty sure they do, right?
Really?
Like,
smells-
do they smell or do they smell?
Maybe it didn't like the smoke of the fire.
Oh, yeah, we should stay here.
Maybe we should just back up and get out of the forest and go back to the cars.
Let's just take the pumpkins and go back to the stupid festival.
Okay. We can get more
Alright.
pumpkins.
So you're making your way out towards the car. You're loading up pumpkins yet?
Don't get too
Yeah.
close to the windmill.
Okay.
As you're like moving the pumpkins over to the car and loading them in the trunk or the back seat or whatever, you do notice that the old wooden door at the windmill is like open right now.
That wasn't like that before.
I heard it open.
Maybe it was just.
You heard it open?
The wind.
The wind?
I was on
the
the
wind.
opposite end, but I heard it open and creaked. And that's when I came by you guys.
There's an awful large amount of wind, always by windmills, right? That's what they're.
I don't
you
think
sure?
it was even turning tonight.
It is a rather.
I
still
licked my
wind.
finger and see if there's wind.
It's like completely still.
There's no wind.
That's really uncommon.
Yeah, it's like autumn, like the trees are like just still.
That's
The
weird.
fire won't spread.
Ever the optimist, Mark.
It's, just safety first. It's an old windmill. Things, sometimes just get old and they break or they like the doors just pop open.
Yep.
And then they need a new model.
Yeah, well, but I don't know if they ever really need to
younger
replace
model.
this because the farm is just not used anymore. The farm is, pretty old.
So you've assessed that there's no wind and that it's completely still, but the windmill is actually like turning.
Now that is strange.
Yes, why don't you go check it out?
Maybe
We
it's
will
just that the
Wait for you.
things aren't evenly weighted, and so it moves on its own accidentally with no prime source of energy. It doesn't make any sense.
Oh, it sounded really smart to me, Eugene. I
Oh my
thought it
gosh.
made sense, So some of them are like the little flats are broken off,
Uh-huh,
right?
yeah.
So
You
I
can
will
make
go
a science
over,
project and demonstrate how that works.
I will go over and check it out just to show you have nothing to be afraid of.
But it is
okay?
old and rickety. It could be unsafe.
Well, I won't climb it, but I'll just go over there and show you. It's
Eugene,
okay.
make a brains check.
Brains. 9.
Okay. You think it's possible that there'd be some kind of machinery or something that it's attached to that's making it move?
Yeah,
We
probably.
should.
See, we'll just go. I'll shine the flashlight in. You can see what it is, and we can put all these silly fears to rest.
Someone's turning the millstone manually.
So you're
People are
flashing
always
your
saying that I'm
light
silly.
kind of at
I'm
the
going
door.
in there and shining my light in the doorway.
You notice that there's some very large footprints that are coming out of there.
That's a Bigfoot?
It's kind of animal-like, I don't know, like a raccoon's paw, kind of but magnified, probably 5 times, 6 times as big as that.
How many toes does it have?
I guess
Well,
it
how
would
many?
I have a
I guess it would be
microscope that magnifies
4?
things.
Oh my god, Eugene, spare me.
be like a paw print kind of thing.
Okay.
Wow, these pranks are getting more and more elaborate every year.
I don't know, guys. This is getting kind of creepy.
Yeah, very creepy, very creepy. Let's just go back home and put the pumpkins into the pumpkin festival so we can carve jack-o'-lanterns, crown a a king and queen and go home and sleep nice and safe in my nice, cozy, warm bed. Yeah.
I just know the story's going to get told, and I'm going to be the one that's the creepy one in the story.
What was that, Mr. Nelson?
It
What are you
always
saying over
happens
there?
every Halloween.
What story? There's no story. We just need to get pumpkins. Look, we've got like the station wagon half full already. We just need to do
Right.
more
right.
pumpkin
This,
gathering.
this is a landmark, though, in Tobinville, and I'd hate to think that those high schoolers are going to do something to destroy our most treasured landmark.
I don't hear them anymore,
So
so
go get
I
the
think they're
cops,
gone.
Martha.
That's
Oh
cool.
my goodness. I'm going to go in there and make sure that nobody's hiding out in there with their giant paw print, leg things that they like to pretend that are walking, and you know how that goes, so they I want to just check it out, so make sure they didn't
Who are
leave
they
anything
pranking?
in there.
No one comes out here.
Well, we're out here.
Can't argue with that logic. We are out here.
And it is the most famous landmark in Tobinville.
That's true. Tobinville only has one famous landmark.
And there was that one year where the entire football team's underwear ended up on the top of the windmill. But that was before your time, dear. You're too young to remember that. So I'll go in there and I'm going to check it out.
All right, so you enter, and it's not exactly what you would expect. You'd expect to see maybe a stairway leading up the structure, but what you see is a gigantic kind of spiral staircase, wooden staircase that leads down, and there's kind of like a turbine that this big metal pole that comes from the unseen depths that attaches up to where the windmill machinery is, and it's you can see it's moving. But even when you peer off of the landing and look down, you can't see the pole.
Hello? Anybody down there?
And it just kind of your voice echoes, and then you just hear a low groan
She's delusional.
growl.
Oh, they're down there. You children need to get back to your homes. Honestly, I'm gonna march down there and tell them what for.
It's
You
not
guys
safe.
stay up here, and I
With
just
Barney?
stay. Well, oh, but Mr. Nelson, why don't you come with me? Maybe two adults telling these young people what to do. They'll listen to both of us. Let's go.
You're gonna leave me up here with Tommy?
Tommy, you keep Eugene safe. You know you can do that. You're a strong girl.
Here, this compass is pointy and sharp. Stab anything that comes close to us.
So I kind of, tug Mr. Nelson's arm there to see if he'll, try to get him to come down there with me. And I'm
Okay.
going down with indignation to tell these teenagers to go back home.
Okay.
I bring my shovel with me.
Okay. So the two of you start heading down the crickety old stairs, once in a while, one of the boards of the stairs creaks or leans a little bit precariously, where you're not sure
For that one.
that if
one's
it'll
a little-
sag or what, but you continue down. We'll come back to that. Tommy and Eugene, you're outside, all alone.
Okay, at this point, I'm starting to get a little scared because this is my vulnerability is showing, and I hear a noise from down, and I grab onto, but then it's one of those awkward moments in a
Yeah.
in a movie where it's oh, I like this person, but I'm gonna pretend not to, so I clutch his arm, but then I'm whatever, I'm tough.
Yeah. How does Eugene react to that?
I'm still shivering. I don't understand what's happening. Did you want my compass or not?
Then you kind of start to hear a clicking of metal over by the his vehicle, which is parked behind Martha's station wagon.
It's probably just his engine settling and cooling off, right?
Now it's starting to sound almost like nails on a chalkboard, kind of
Oh!
that metal,
That's the worst sound of all time.
and you see the vehicle's kind of moving a little bit.
Internal combustion engines don't sound like that. The car is moving. It's shaking.
Maybe it's some of the equipment I loaded.
Do we go down? Or do we stay here?
I clutch your arm again, but this time I don't try to be brave because I don't even care anymore. I'm just scared.
Let's go in and close the door.
You're going into the windmill?
Yeah.
Okay.
And closing the door.
Okay.
Between a rock and a hard place.
And even as you run and you close the door, like you're hearing like what sounds like destruction happening to his station wagon because you just hear like clawing and maybe you hear like a pop, like a tire popping or something like that. But yeah, then the two of you are like climbing down the stairs and you hear like the door up above like slam shut and like the kids like I don't know hyperventilating, you know.
What's going on up there?
It's Bigfoot! It's aliens! It's all the things!
Crazy Bart's gonna be so pissed.
Your car is wrecked!
What? I just made my last payment.
You're getting the children all riled up. Listen to them up there. They're like just getting so excitable. We just
Some
need
monster's destroying your car, Uncle Bart.
Yes!
just imagination running wild.
It had long fingernails!
It's all your fault with those aliens. If you wouldn't have said anything about aliens, we just would have been
You would have
fine.
came with me, you would have seen them.
I'm sure I would have.
What's down there?
We're not quite at the bottom yet, strangely enough.
Taking
We're
you a
just-
really long time to get down those
Lots of
stairs!
stairs. They're a little rickety. You guys should stay up there.
What if he's done with the car and he comes in here?
Just keep the door shut. You'll be fine.
So
Is there anything, like, I look for a piece to try to, like, jam the door? A piece of wood or metal or something?
yeah, like
The door opens outward.
Yeah, but if I, like, jam something into it, like, you know, pull it shut with something jammed into it, it might keep it from...
Tie it.
Yeah.
You just make it clear.
there's like a
I'll quick take out a screwdriver. and
you
push
note
the-
that there's like a deadbolt that had been on the door, but it's like broken. Like something like sheer force like broke it when the door like swung open.
This is really bad news! I recognize that deadbolt from the McMaster Car magazine that I sometimes read for fun, and it's rated for really high strength. There's something really strong down there.
I'm so glad you know all this useful information.
Make a brains check again.
10.
It looks like somebody broke that door, and you see the tracks on the ground. It seems like whatever did this likely is out.
Oh!
Destroying my
It's
car.
good! We're good in here! We're safe! We're safe in here, unless there were two and one's still down there.
But
Of course, he could break out. He could break.
I mean, an alien wouldn't be here by itself, would it? And a Bigfoot would have a mate. And a bear would have cubs.
Eugene,
Okay,
just sit down and
calm
take
down.
some deep breaths in and out.
There's
Just
a-
breathe slowly. We'll check this out.
There's a lot of noise going on up there.
Your car's getting destroyed.
Suddenly from down below you hear, like, "You can't do this! Help! Help! I'm just screaming! Ah! You can't do this! Let us go!"
Oh my goodness! What is going on down there? Are you guys tormenting a poor young person? Come on, they need to just be going home. Their parents, I will see who you are, and your parents will hear of this.
As you're saying
you got
that,
him, Martha.
all of a sudden, like, it gets like quiet. Like as soon as you start like shouting, like you maybe kind of hear like some muffled sounds, but like it gets like it stops. All that shouting stops.
See, now they know. That's the guilt. They know that we're here, and they just are feeling bad about it. So let's go down there. I'm going to see who they are, and I will tell their mothers at the next PTO meeting.
Quiet is dangerous.
My two angels are always quiet. They spend time in the room, and it's just blissful silence in the house. Quiet is fine.
Quiet is lame and
Remember when
boring.
Holly told me that she sneaks out the window?
So you head down the stairs, and you go down like an incredible, like it feels like forever that you're winding down, but eventually you get to the bottom, and there's like you're at a landing that goes through a tunnel, and at the landing there's like a crevice or there's like an overlook where there's like a 10-foot drop off this landing. Basically, you're in a sewer, like the sewer canal, you know, is like going down the middle, and there's like a landing on either side where workers and stuff like that could walk.
Oh my goodness, I never knew there were tunnels. Did you know about this, Mr. Nelson, that there were tunnels under the McAllister window? My.
No, but I have heard.
Is it safe for us to come down there? Because there's still something destroying his car up here.
Well,
It kind of stinks down here. If you can stand the stench.
You're hearing like kind of like pounding on the doors at this point.
Alright, I'm coming down.
watch
Just
out
go
for
down.
the steps. They're very rickety. Just take it. Use the railing.
I'll be right behind you.
Use the
Eugene.
railing, Tommy.
Uh-huh.
So you guys are all down there by the landing at this point. And you can kind of hear like beyond, like in the darkness of the tunnel, there's like echoey like movement, footsteps, and maybe even like a little bit of a muffled like somebody trying to cry out for help.
That definitely sounds like somebody's getting kidnapped.
It's those.
The lost kid.
It could be the lost kid.
It's not the lost.
He wouldn't be a kid anymore. It's 10 years ago.
You seem to know an awful lot about it, Party.
Hey, I was accused of it.
Someone quick go down there, Mrs. A.
I remember being
I'm going to go
accused.
down there. These kids are. I'm glad I have my aerobic workout every week, because when I get this, I can chase them down. I'm gonna go chase them down.
So you are taking the lead, and
I
you're
am.
heading forward.
They're running over there, just those naughty children.
You're kind of like it's like almost like a, every now and again you'll have like an offshoot from the tunnel that like you know, is presumably you're walking back towards the town, and maybe these trenches kind of follow like maybe the street patterns of your town that you're from, and you are hearing the sound, the echoey sound is coming from like across the chasm, such that there's like a ladder, like you could climb down there, but you'd be like down in like the sewer
Okay.
muck to get to like the other side.
Gotcha. But it's like I'm on this side of it. It's on that side.
Yeah, there's no like little bridge or whatever to
Right.
like get over.
Right.
Presumably, like the maintenance workers, they would just come down from like a different
the other
area.
side, yeah. So but that's where I'm hearing it from.
Yeah.
How did they get over there?
Come on, Martha. Put your Jane Fonda workout videos to work.
I wonder. Do you think I might be able to jump across? I am
Possible.
pretty good. I am pretty good at jumping.
I would say.
Especially if I get a running start.
I think this will be a brawn check.
Okay. A 3.
What?
Plus
Okay.
one.
D10. No, it's brawn.
Oh,
so it's a
brawn.
D10. I got a 3.
Okay. So you take a jump and you go and you fall face first into the muck, and you're just covered in refuse and waste.
It is a lot further than it looks. Oh, this is disgusting.
And then you take a adversity token.
Okay.
So now you can use that as a +1
Okay.
on yourself, or +1 on a planned action of someone else, or you have strengths that maybe use
Oh, yeah.
adversity tokens.
All right, cool.
Or you can eat it.
Or you can eat it.
No, I won't eat it.
Or you can use it and eat it.
Okay, so,
How deep is it?
Deep enough, Mr. Nelson!
It's maybe like, it's less than a foot. It's just like a sludge.
Let's just roll up our
I-
pants and wade through.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. I can't jump.
Well, I will help the children. As long as I'm in here already, if you want, I can try to help. Like if you jump in, I'll lift you across. So you don't have to come down in this muck. It's gross. It's disgusting.
okay.
Come on,
Okay,
Eugene.
yeah,
I'll
yeah,
help
yeah,
you
yeah,
across.
yeah.
Get
Okay.
ready. Be brave. You can do it. 1, 2, 3, jump! I'll try to help you across.
And I don't do it.
Oh!
I'm still on the ladder. Okay,
Okay.
one more time. One more time.
All right.
One more time.
All right, here we go. This time you have to let go. Okay, ready?
Let go.
Oh, just ready. Okay. 1, 2,
Let go.
3, no!
Okay. You're making a brawn check then too?
Well, whatever she's helping
Yeah.
me, so. Yeah, I'm making a brawn check. I'm a D4 for that, so that's solid. I got
Okay.
4.
On a 4, this hasn't been explained. On your die, if you hit the max number of the die, it blows up, meaning you get to roll it again and accumulate.
Oh.
So that's how, if you have a D4 and you're doing something that's really terrible, you still potentially could chain that
That's
die.
lucky then.
So you could roll again.
Come on. Oh.
Another 4.
Oh,
Okay. Roll
wow.
again.
8.
Might do it.
11.
11. Okay. On 11, you, with the guidance, you make it across. And you kind of feel like Superman for a second. You
Nice
even make like a
job.
little sound like wee.
Good job, Eugene. Oh, I'm so proud
to
of
climb
you.
up. Come on, Tommy.
Come on, Tommy.
Don't leave
your
me alone
turn.
over here.
I just roll up my pants and go and wade across the muck.
Miss Alice Nelson, what are you doing? Your mother is going to be so mad at you.
Fine.
So you wade across. You feel like something grab at your ankle as you're doing this. And it feels like really slimy and slick. Like it's going. What kind of clothes are you wearing?
Like jeans.
Okay,
And
you can.
tennis
You
shoes?
feel like it's going up your jean pants, like it's inside your pants, like a, I don't know, like a
Vine?
leech or a vine or something. Like it's crawling like up your leg.
Okay. I do a dramatic girly overreact.
Well, make a grit check. Maybe you don't have to.
Oh, okay, fine. D20 for
Ooh.
grit. No. Six.
Okay. Yeah, you do that.
Or wait,
Is there a die for that?
are there? Well, is it,
Yep,
It's a
9.
9.
oh, it's a 9.
Oh, 9? I think you can maintain your composure. Like, you don't have to, like, scream.
Okay.
But you're, like, you are concerned.
Okay. Guys, there's something crawling up my leg. Get me out of here.
Okay, I will help you up. Come on, let me pull you up. Get up by Eugene.
Wait, don't bring the creepy thing over here.
So,
Creepy
your,
like crawly thing.
your initial attempt to pull her is, like, you could feel there's some, like, tension. Like,
Okay.
she's, like, almost, like,
Alice,
rooted.
don't be so difficult.
I'm not. I'm stuck.
All right, I'm gonna pull harder.
Make a brawn check.
Is my leg gonna come off?
Nope, not that strong.
It would take an inordinate amount
8.
of force to rip your leg
8.
off.
Okay.
Thanks, Encyclopedia Brown.
She's stuck. You're pulling and she's stuck. And now you are actually pulled down.
Oh,
And like your face is in the muck and you're
Okay.
she's starting to like slide down the canal.
Alice, this isn't funny.
Okay, here I go.
You have to try
Someone, and I'm,
to. You
like,
have to try to
scrambling
create a
again.
higher coefficient of friction.
I flip Eugene off as I'm going.
That's
And-
not gonna help.
She rounds like the corner out
Oh,
of sight.
please.
There's like a 90-degree turn and she's like
Tommy,
and out
no!
of sight.
Alice, put those fingers down.
I jump down and start trudging after.
Okay.
No, Alice! Tommy, I mean. Sorry.
Let's make this
It's Tommy,
check.
jerkface.
Flight. I can do flight. Yes, I can do flight, okay. 8.
okay.
Plus 1 is 9.
Okay, you catch up and like you're right next to Tommy now.
I'm like grabbing onto one of her hands, like trying to put my like shoes down and like do the
like the room.
yeah. I'm doing like the jet skiing or whatever, water skiing basically.
Okay.
Whatever's carrying her, and I'm like,
Give me a brawn check.
okay, that's not gonna be. 4,
4,
Oh,
4.
10.
You're
10.
pretty good at those.
Okay.
It's adrenaline.
You kind of dig in and you're pulling her arm, and you get caught kind of like on almost like a crack or something, like like the concrete's jagged, and like you hit that, and then you've stopped. Your leg is still taut, but you're not progressing through the canal anymore.
Barty, Mrs. A!
I'm
I
running.
got it, stop!
I'm running.
I go down there with my shovel and start whacking at that vine or whatever that's holding
Okay.
onto her leg.
Give me a fight check.
Or
You're bringing your shovel down, and it just doesn't seem to be like cutting through. Like this tool just really isn't really meant for this kind of. You're not even sure what it is. You can't see what this thing is through the muck. It's very opaque sludge, but you can sense that you're hitting something and it's not letting go.
There's a very small chance that I might have packed my, what's that? No, this, what would-
Slide
my
rule.
Swiss Army
Oh,
knife
by the way,
that has,
Sorry,
when,
like,
guys, when you're failing, you take adversity tokens.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Have I failed?
You failed the...
You fail. You must have failed one to fall down, right?
No, you told me that I didn't do a check. You just told me that it pulled me down. Well,
You
okay, I did fail once. Okay. Yeah.
I haven't failed yet.
You haven't, yeah.
Oh well.
Well,
Well, then you don't get any candy.
You don't
I
get
know.
an M.
Could you check my backpack to see if I brought my Swiss Army knife? I can't let go.
Oh, I'll check. So
So I have the prepared thing. So there's
Okay. Okay.
what would prepared? That's on 59, right? So may spend 2. I don't have.
Oh, if
2
only you'd
adversity.
failed a little bit.
I have a condom.
Although,
I'm not seeing it in here, Eugene.
yeah.
But is there anything else in your backpack
I
that
have a
might be?
calculator.
If
If you type,
is
we
it
could
like
just.
a TI-80 something?
Well,
One
we
of those
could
heavy
calculate
ones?
how much force it would take
I don't
to
think that'll
bring
be
her back
helpful.
this way.
calculate it.
Yeah, okay, so type in
Can I
E equals.
borrow your shovel, Mr. Nelson?
So
I'm changing
make me a
tactics.
brains check.
800.
brains check. 19.
Okay, so you're calculating like the circumference of this thing multiplied by, like you have like the calculation for force, and you think that like all three of you together like pulling would be enough to like rip at the whatever
Yep.
this thing is.
Okay. That Eugene's very bright. What if we all, Mr. Nelson and Eugene and I, what if we just? Are you saying we should just all do it together? Okay. All right. Are you ready?
I'm changing tactics. I'm using my shovel with the point and jamming it down.
Oh my goodness.
No, just help us pull.
No, we need to cut it off.
I calculated it. We can generate enough newtons worth of force to pull.
Just figure something out, guys. My leg's gonna fall off.
It would take more force than we can generate to force
Screw
your leg
you,
to.
Eugene.
Come on, Mr. Nelson. Let's just try this. It's
Oh.
your niece here, okay?
All right,
Ready?
but what if her legs is weaker than the vine? You know, I mean.
Oh my goodness! Don't even talk like
I've
that.
calculated that it would not happen. The worst
have to
case
trust
scenario,
you.
we'll pull her hip out of joint.
We don't know what's at the other end of the vine.
That's
Do
an unknown
something.
calculation.
I have used an educated guess to determine that it is something.
Let's
reasonable.
just pull her out.
What are you doing, Bartholomew?
Well, I wanted to jam the point of the shovel into the
Okay, give me another fight check.
12.
And that blows it up. That blows it up.
Yeah,
'cause
it's
it's
a
the-
detail.
Oh. Yeah.
Roll
Okay,
again,
roll
Mr.
again.
Bartholomew.
Okay, that goes up to 19 now.
Okay, so you bring the shovel down and it hits rock, so you hear a splash through the sludge, and you feel your leg get freed.
I'm free! Hurry up! And I scramble and I try to but I'm slipping in the muck and whatever,
Yeah.
just to try to get up. And
So like when her legs
also,
come free, I fall over
Yeah.
because I'm pulling like, ugh.
I'm
And then you've got
kind
this,
of
like,
asleep 'cause it
sewage-
was all...
Is there like a kiss moment, but she's like full of like just
No.
refuse?
No, no.
No, just I'm just complaining. And
Yeah.
my leg is asleep because it hurts and it was all wrapped with the vine. It was cutting off my circulation.
Yeah, you've got if you're looking at your leg, you see kind of almost leech mega-sized leech sucker wounds.
Hold still, dear. Hold still. I've got some sanitizer and a box of Band-Aids in my backpack. Let me just, because we don't want it to get infected.
Maybe we should
I
do
am
that up
fine.
on the dry land. Up on the other side of
Yes,
the thing.
once we get up here, let's just kind of wipe that off and
Alien leeches.
There we go.
It is alien leeches.
This is nuts, you guys. Maybe crazy Uncle Bart isn't that crazy after all.
It's probably just some sort of animal that lives in this awful, icky place.
It's
it
like
happens.
Star Wars.
Sure. Whatever Star Wars is.
It's the
Sure.
movie. It was out.
Oh yeah, but
a
Martha doesn't
year
watch
ago.
Star Wars.
Yeah, I saw it in theaters.
Oh my god.
It's like that little thing with the.
Okay.
And
yeah,
then-
one of those.
and then the-
Is it like a cartoon or?
Yeah, okay.
Is that what the
exactly
space
like
fighters?
that.
Was that the movie with
Yeah.
the space fight?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay.
And
And the
Mr.
space
Spock?
wizards. No.
I
that
think
was-
Harold went to see that movie.
Yeah, I thought I saw him there with his secretary.
Oh yeah, I think he went with his bowling league.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think that they. Yeah. Yeah, I remember she was wearing a bowling shirt.
Yeah, because we were throwing popcorn at their hair.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. So your leg now. It's we got the nice Band-Aids on it. We're good, right? Everybody's okay.
Okay.
We're
Okay.
I know it's traumatic, honey, but that's what you get when you go playing in the sewers. You should have let me help you.
You couldn't make the jump.
No, I know, but I helped Eugene across, and he's so very obedient. And if you just would listen to your elders, maybe you wouldn't end up in these scrapes. That's all I'm saying.
Whatever. So what are we gonna do now?
Well, weren't we chasing a potential kidnapping victim?
There was the sound back there. Yes.
So we've got, the way I see it, we've got two choices. We can either go try to figure out what crazy alien plant tried to eat you, or we can go chase the kidnapping victim.
Oh,
Or
I'm
we
not
could
going
go back.
No,
up
because
where-
there's crazy, scary things up there.
Yeah, I know.
You are just being. Wait, how much caffeine did you have? Were
I-
you eating sugar
I don't
all
think
night?
root beer even has caffeine in it.
Oh, I'm not gonna be alien food again. So let's go. I don't know. Find the source of the weird noises and
I'm gonna go tell those teenagers to go home.
yeah, the talking and whatever.
Oh yeah, the teenagers. I'll follow you down that way.
So
I think the
you're gonna
government
climb
knows
up a
all
ladder,
about this.
basically get out of the sludge and get back up to the landing on the other side that you were trying to get to originally, right? So you climb up that ladder. You move forward for I don't know another 5 minutes or so. You're traveling down the trench, and then you come upon on your left. There's like a very modern looking like double doors that seem to have there's like a little number keypad there, and you see there's some writing on the door that says authorized personnel only.
Do you have the password to this room?
I don't even know what this room is. I didn't expect to find this under an old windmill.
Well, this.
No,
Well, if
Now
anyone
is,
has the password.
one of my strengths is being intuitive. Intuitive. So, could I think of a way to find what the numbers were pressed last time?
Do you have any
Your-
powder for your face?
You can spend one adversity token to ask the GM about your surroundings, an NPC or the like. The GM must answer honestly. That's what your intuitive is. you could make a check. I'd let you do a brains check.
Okay,
And
I'll
I
do
have
that then.
an adversity token that can give you a. Do you have a +1 to brains?
Yes, I do.
Well, if I gave you this, you get a +2. So I'm not actually going to give you the M&M because I want to eat it, but you get a +2 instead of a +1 on that roll.
And you can do it after he's rolled too.
Okay. Okay.
If you think like
So- I was using my
Brains?
My-
Or
adversity, or
You can only give her.
you didn't really ask me anything.
oh, okay.
I do have a question though for Mrs. A. Do you happen to have your like powder thing for your makeup with you?
Compact? Well, I don't have it written down in my backpack, but it would maybe be something in my purse, perhaps, if it's in my purse today.
Would you have brought your purse down here with you?
It's in my bag.
Oh yeah.
You want to use your ability for her?
Well, I guess my thing is I don't know, I can't because I don't have the an adversity token, but
Oh, okay.
I was just, if it would be something that she would reasonably have on her, then we could put the powder on the lock and then blow it off and see which numbers were used. And
Okay.
then we would have a finite combination to try to work with.
Make your check.
That looks good.
16 plus 17, and you said you gave me
An extra one. Yeah.
18.
Okay. So you have this item. You have like some like makeup, like powder.
I don't know.
or-
I didn't have it written down for my backpack. We were just seeing if that would be something Martha would have with her.
If that seems like a reasonable thing, yeah. I mean, I think that's probably be a common thing at that time for women to have packed in a
Don't we both
purse.
have a compact in our purse right now?
I have an assortment of lip gloss.
There you go.
Sure. I don't know.
Sure, there it is.
We're gonna say yes.
Okay.
And you do this, and then you are able to decipher like which numbers to press.
Okay. We see that these numbers were pressed.
Mm-hmm. Do we know the number of numbers? Does he know intuitively the number of numbers this kind of lock would have?
When you do it, it kind of seems like it's 6.
Give me a.
All right, so 6 factorial is. I don't know if that's even the proper.
I don't know, but that's where my brain went
So-
too. So I'm like, oh
Well,
wow, I
dude.
thought that too.
We'll do the start doing the.
Well, okay.
The
Is there
number-
any number, 6-digit number, significant to the skunks?
Oh, that's very smart. Oh, Eugene is so smart.
Like maybe the
Could be the
day, month, year they were
or
formed.
the or the day the town was founded, perhaps.
Ooh, yeah. Let's try that one.
Okay.
What's the worst that could happen?
Right. An alarm goes off. We die.
Oh, I don't know. Maybe bring down that crazy alien again. Grab us all.
That could happen too.
Well, maybe the door's
Hurry up!
open.
Press that combination of numbers.
So you try an assortment of numbers, kind of thinking of dates and things like that are significant, and I think Bartholomew takes like pretty like extensive notes, and so he's got like all these dates like written in his little. Didn't you have a book or something?
I
like
have my
your-
logbook.
Yeah.
Yes.
So eventually, like one of these happens to work, and it's actually the first pumpkin festival. Is the date of the first pumpkin festival ends up being the code. And then like you hear like the little red dot like turns green, and you hear like the unlocking like noise,
Quick, turn the handle and open it.
and you grab it, and like you see then like a very like kind of sterile, institutional looking like hallway. It's not like the sewer
log-
anymore.
Make notation of that.
Almost like maybe like a hospital wing or something is kind of like the feel of it. White walls.
50.
I think so.
And there's like a light panel that's like kind of flickering like down the hall.
Of course it's flickering. Why would it not be flickering?
This is creepy as heck.
There's probably a crappy capacitor in there somewhere.
Bet you the government knows all about this too. They're probably breeding the aliens in there.
Oh, goodness, you got the door open. I'm very impressed, Mr. Nelson. You sure know your town history.
Well, after that crazy tentacle got me, I'll believe anything.
It was probably a leech or, maybe a rat. I
It
don't
was
know.
a pretty
There's-
strong leech rat.
Pretty big.
Yeah, explain this.
this I don't understand. and
Well, either way,
this is definitely odd.
either way, we should probably go in and close the door so that the leech rat can't eat us.
Yeah, but we don't know what's in there.
Well, we'll just go find a nice security guard and tell them what happened, and they'll be
Yeah,
able to
right,
let us out.
Martha.
They don't
And
have
there's-
nice security guards in Crazy
We're the
Government Labs.
intruders here.
But once we explain what happened and that we were, out by the windmill and just all this crazy stuff, they'll be able to escort us out. We'll
yeah,
get back to the
and
festival.
then they'll kill us.
Oh, you've been
No.
listening to Mr.
I don't
Nelson
want
too
them to
much.
kill me.
It's
I don't want
not.
them to kill me.
No one's trying to kill anybody.
I don't want
for
them to kill
God's
me.
sakes.
Pretty
That's
sure
what
that
they
leech
did.
rat tried
You
to
know what
kill
they said
me.
about me? They said you were trying to kill that boy.
No, I don't want anybody to kill me.
Goodness. Oh my goodness. The
Can we
three
have
of
less
you
people
are
kill me?
just. You've watched too many of those Starfighter movies. Too many of those. They just make your head a little bit off. Let's
I
go.
was lying. The kid who disappeared just moved to New York City and he's a drag queen now.
Well, there you go. He's an actor in New York City. Let's go.
I don't know what any of this means.
So you're moving down the hallway, like looking for like a door to go in, or looking for a security guard.
Police officer, help us out.
So you do. You find like you turn the corner, you see a security guard. He's got like a little name tag and utility belt and everything. He's also dead. He's
No!
laying on the ground in like a pool of blood. Looks like something like ripped right through like his uniform, and he's just like laid out.
Are there tentacle marks?
No, more like
Suction?
claw marks. And there's kind of like a really like
We're dealing with
putrid
here.
scent in the air.
Putrid scent.
oh my
I
goodness.
knew it was the skunks.
Don't
I knew
look,
it was
don't
the
look,
skunks.
children. You don't need to look at this. It looks like there was a bit of an accident, and we're just going to continue down the hallway here. Don't look.
I'm not gonna
Alice,
be
turn
able
your
to
head.
sleep here for
Accident, my
months.
crazy Uncle Bart's wooden leg.
You have a wooden
Anyway.
leg?
But you're not wearing it. That's even weirder.
I'm wearing it.
That's why he didn't want to try to pull. He didn't want his wooden leg to fall off.
Now I feel terrible. All right, let's just go. Let's
Is
go
there,
down the
there
hallway
any
here.
cages that perhaps were?
You're just in the
Broken
hallway.
old-
You're in a hallway right now.
Oh,
With a dead security guard.
I thought we
Travis-
went through a.
It's an industrial.
Thought we went through.
You went through the doors, but you're in the like
Oh.
a hallway. You know, you
Oh.
turned a corner. You know,
Okay.
What if it's a giant mutant kangaroo? And that's where they're getting all the meat.
I just don't
They
think that's
weren't
very
importing it
logical.
from Australia this whole time. They were breeding them down here.
Oh my.
Oh my goodness. You would totally
They
be
got
able to
out and
breed
ripped this thing, this
You
security
guys are
guard to
making more
shreds.
theories than I am. It's just.
See what happens when you get children all riled up? They go off the rails.
I don't
They
think
can-
we're unreasonably riled up. There's a dead person here.
It's an industrial accident. They
Look.
happen sometimes. Pieces of equipment go awry, and
Where's the equipment?
I gotta
Well,
write some of
they
these
tried-
theories down.
Biff Thompson. This guy could be related to the Thompsons from Tobinville.
Oh
Biff
no! Oh,
Thompson.
is that Biff Thompson? That is
Biff
such a nice
Thompson.
family. They'll be so sad to hear. Well, of course the industrial people do not want these kind of injuries to get out. It makes their 10 days without an injury thing go back to zero. So they try to cover those things up a bit. But let's just keep going down the hallway, and we'll be fine. We'll get out of here. And we'll let Biff Thompson's family.
Does he have a taser or a gun?
Fine, you go report this to OSHA.
he
and
has
we'll go
a
figure
gun.
Out. So we take his gun, obviously, right?
I mean,
yeah, it's just like a pistol.
It's not safe to have a gun.
Well, it's
Here,
doing
you have the gun.
It's doing him no use.
Children, you cannot be playing with guns. I will take that. Oh my goodness.
Like I trust Martha with a gun.
I will have you know that I am an expert markswoman. I train.
You are?
I am. Yeah, I do all kinds of things. Oh, yeah, I have my, aerobics class, and then I go down to the shooting range on Tuesdays. Harold is in the bowling league, and he's so busy, so I have my hobbies, he has his, so, yeah.
Who knew?
Yeah.
I would really not want to be that secretary when things go down. So you got the gun, dead body.
Come on, guys, let's end this. Let's figure this out.
There's nothing to figure out, dear. It's just a bunch of random,
stop talking.
unconnected-
You kind of hear like a muffled like a couple of voices like seem like screaming like super muffled, but you see like there's a door down the hallway. Maybe it's coming from there. It's almost imperceivable, like the sound, but there's like a moment in silence in your conversation. There's not a lot of sound happening in these hallways, and you pick up there's something going on behind that door.
That way, behind that door.
Okay, sure.
The beast is at it again.
Fine.
It ripped open the guard. You can't deny that.
Well, you know, there's a perfectly reasonable explanation for everything we're seeing.
Yeah, I just
Mhm.
gave it.
So you go to that door, and it also has like a keypad, but this one has like a window, like that you can look in, almost like
Jail cell.
a jail cell or something like that. And you look in, you can see that there's 3 teenage boys wearing like fighting orange, like memorabilia or whatever, like school spirit kind of stuff. And they're all like chained or like shackled to these like hospital lab beds or whatever. And they're like, they're like yelling, shouting. One of them has like some vomit or something like on his shirt.
What's going on here, you guys?
Can we open the door?
You try like the same password that you use to like open the initial door, and it doesn't work.
I go back to the dead guard and I look for a code book.
Okay.
Why are you touching that? That's dirty.
Oh, we need to know the password, Mrs. A.
We gotta save those boys.
Right.
You find something. It's actually like his ID badge has like this number like on the back, and you try that, and green light, the door opens.
All right, now use this hand sanitizer and get all those germs off your hands. There you go. Now
Okay,
rub
Mrs.
it
A,
together,
thanks.
just like that.
Hey
guys!
I try and find how I can release them from their bondage.
We're here to rescue you.
There's like, I think the guard probably would have a key or something that would work to like.
Okay, so I go find the key on the guard.
And then these boys are just like, you get the sense that there's like a smell of like beer or something on their breaths. They're like, oh, thanks, guy. Oh man, aren't you that creepo guy from down the alley?
You know it.
Be polite. This is Mr. Nelson. He's been very helpful tonight.
Oh, thanks, Mr. Nelson.
Tell me this is some hazing ceremony, please. I don't want to know what it really is.
I don't know exactly what's going on, Mr. Nelson. We were just out having a few brewskis out in the woods. And,
Was that you
Have
guys? I
Cut
thought
to
you
the
were
chase,
aliens.
man. What happened to you?
well, we were out there having a party, and then suddenly, like, guys, like, kind of, like, threw some bags over our heads and, like, muffled us, and we got dragged down here.
And then what?
And then they shackled us and left us here.
Those stallions. Those
Why,
Kentucky
though?
Derby stallions.
Yep, I bet it was them, the stallions. No, what about the monster?
One of the guys is like, fuck the stallions.
right?
He's the guy with the vomit. He's clearly like not focused on the gravity of what's happening. And the other guys are like looking at him like, really, dude? And then they're like, they tell you that these men in they had like black and white robes, and they like abducted them and then brought them down here.
So did you see what happened to the dead guy?
They say no. I don't know. That was the thing that really got us freaked out. Was we saw him as they brought us into this room. He was dead when we came down.
That's why you should always have your secretary with you when you work late, so these kind of accidents don't happen. That's what I tell my Herald.
I don't think
Just
they have
take it
secretaries.
so easy. It's so easy for him.
I don't think they have secretaries. They're just
Oh,
boys.
that's true. They are not, middle management material, are they? No, I'm talking about the guard. If he would have had somebody with him,
He
wouldn't
doesn't have
had that
secretary
accident.
either.
No.
Um,
I know.
so
That's true.
there's more people than you say down here.
Yeah. I don't know. They seemed kind of freaked out. They just shackled us here and they left in a hurry.
So they were freaked out by the dead guy.
Oh yeah, they seem concerned about that. They seem a little on edge the entire time, though, man.
Well,
I mean,
Big
when
little
you're
bro.
abducting kids, I would think that you would.
They didn't say
edge.
anything while they were hauling you down here, did they?
Like, here's my evil plan.
No,
they
they.
have accents? Are they from around here? Did you recognize anyone's voice?
they sound like they were from Kentucky.
One of them did. The other two. No, I think they're from around here, maybe. They were talking in a hushed voice, like it sounded like they were talking like they're communicating electronically on a walkie-talkie or something.
Really?
They were asking for like coordinates on the thing that escaped or the.
Oh yeah. Did you hear any numbers? Did they say any numbers?
Yeah, they said.
Eugene's so good with numbers.
Oh my god.
You have a map, right?
Yeah. Here.
No, I mean there's numbers on a map. I could show you how to find where they found if they had numbers.
They said it was patient 50.
Oh, that doesn't help. Patient 50?
Like Area 50?
Area 50?
That's where they keep patient
Or did
50.
they have
I've heard
49
it said that.
prior patients?
Yeah, you're trying my patience. That's for sure. You boys need to get home and quit pranking each other. This is what happens when one prank just gets bigger than bigger and people end up shackled to hospital beds.
Martha, how are you not worried right now? This is way beyond a prank.
Well,
It's a
not
murder.
the way I see it. There was an accident and there's a prank on awry and everyone just needs to get home and get to
There's
bed.
nothing near him that would have caused those wounds.
Not anymore.
No,
No,
the
but-
tracks lead away from him.
Yeah, somebody took the equipment away, but that's what happened.
The big-
This is all super confusing, ma'am, Mrs. A, and creepy dude.
Mr. Nelson.
Mr. Nelson, sorry. Just
I know you boys.
Had a
Maybe
little
this will
too
teach you a
much.
lesson. You don't go and drink, and wait till
Nope.
you're a grown up. Yeah,
Yep.
exactly. You learned your lesson, didn't you? Now
Uh-huh.
you guys need to go home now. All right.
yeah, how
And Mr. you
how
need
are
to
we
get
gonna
a
get
different
home?
help.
There's a something crazy eating
Oh, yeah, a
my
rat
uncle's
leash.
car, and there's a
We'll just-
rat leash.
We'll go out the other end of the house. We won't come
Did
back.
they
to the
drag
sewer.
you
We can
through
just go
that
out.
sewer to get down here?
Yeah.
Oh.
There has to be another exit.
Well, there's another. Is there another room off of this room, or the other rooms in the place that we? Not. I'm not asking them. I'm asking you.
Oh, yeah. There's like this whole there's like a complex.
Yeah.
Like it's like
Let's keep
there's
going.
multiple rooms and stuff like that.
Let's keep going around
We'll
and
find
looking
the
for
exit.
other people.
Eventually, like the next room that you visit, like across the hall, actually has. Well, you go down the hall a bit and you see like a room where like the door is actually it's got a keypad and everything, but the door is like ripped off. And when you look in there, there's like another. Well, this room has like evidence of like someone actually lived in here. Like it's not like a contain. It looks like a containment cell with the window and everything, but like it's got like a proper bed. And like there's like chessboard in there, and lots of books about chess moves and strategy. And
Wait a second.
there's like a globe.
Is this your? You lived out here?
No.
Who else would have a super secret lab with a chessboard in it?
It might be their break room, I mean, maybe they just play a lot of chess here at this.
Let
Yeah.
me look at that chessboard. Hey, this is the guy that I've been corresponding with, playing chess.
Really?
Yeah, he's pretty good too.
So you've taken note that you even see like your letters there.
Yeah. He never really talks about himself, though. He always just makes his move, and that's all he says.
I'm really creeped out right now. Can we just go home?
He answer me with his next move for a long time now.
Well, it's
Thought
clear
I
he
just-
should do this.
Thought I
next.
just
He's
had him
gonna-
stumped, but now I don't know.
Well, so are there any traces of anything else in here?
There's what are you looking at? There's like a
Um,
bed, there's a bookshelf, you know, the desk where like this chessboard is laid out.
Yeah, any type of spot where there would be food.
You see like a tray, like a like the kind of tray that would be in a prison or cafeteria or something like that. And there's some kind of like untouched meat, like that has not been eaten, but you can see like the vegetables and the other portions of the tray have been like devoured.
Is it that filthy kangaroo meat?
It kind of has like a unique smell when you bring your nose close to it.
What are you doing over there, Eugene? Are you touching someone else's food?
No, I'm just smelling it.
Well, that's just no, because there could be germs on there, and you could get sick. You don't want to do that. This must be.
Why would this guy eat everything but the meat? Like, he ate his vegetables. Gross.
Vegetables are good for you.
Yeah, uh-huh.
No, something's wrong with the meat. This
I don't
looks
know
like
what
our
you're talking
cafeteria meat.
Does it look like the cafeteria meat? I saw Billy Wilson eat that one time. It was weird.
Holly and Ivy say it's wonderful. They prepare it so
Of
well.
course they eat it.
Billy Wilson.
That explains a lot, doesn't it?
Clear
Yeah.
their plate. They're such good little girls.
I bet you bring your lunch, right?
Yeah.
I always did too.
Out in the hall, you hear, so those boys, like, you set them free to, like, try to, like, get away.
Mm-hmm.
You hear them, like, screaming
Oh
in pain.
no! We better go find those.
Oh, what trouble are they getting into now? This is why you don't drink alcohol. You don't. It's a poison. It's the devil's whiskey. So let's go find out what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
They're
So
probably bumping into things.
you move out into the hallway, and you see at the end of the hallway where the flickering, like, light is, you see this hulking man who has, like, almost like a mohawk, like, streak, like a black mohawk, but then, like, white hair, and he's got, like, fangs and claws, and he's, like, ripping apart these boys.
Mutant skunk.
And you recognize he looks like an older version of that 10-year-old boy that went missing.
Oh shit.
And it's just a bloodbath, and, like, there's, like, this putrid smell that's filling the corridor. And he rips off one of the boys' heads, and he just starts, like, drinking
Show
it
us
like
your
a straw.
marksmanship.
Okay,
there.
so
You have a gun.
Marga
Use it.
can't ignore this. She can't. So
I think you all need to make a grit check
Okay.
right now.
Okay.
Oh.
Because this is, like, everything's been, like, kind of weird and creepy, but this is, like, super horrifying what's happening.
19.
Okay, you're fine. You're just like, man, this is weird.
5.
Okay, you're, like, freaking out. This is that student that, you know, so many of the
That accused you
townsfolk had, you know, accused you of, like, maybe murdering or kidnapping or whatever, and now here he is. And you liked him. He was a good student. And now maybe you're putting it together that he's the one that you've been playing chess with through correspondence all this time, and he's a skunk were creature. That's a lot to process. So you're, like, just petrified. What did you have?
I had my D4s for grit. I had a 4 and then a 3, and I get a +1, so 8 total.
8. You are pretty shaken up by this too.
Yeah, this is something I can't ignore. I've been trying to like rationalize everything else away, but hard to deny a big rare skunk creature.
What was your thing? Was you were drawing the gun, right, to shoot?
It was good try. They told me
Okay.
to.
So that's your instinct, and you do so. but you're kind of bothered, so you're shaking a bit.
Yeah, I'm very afraid of
So
blood.
the next difficulty check is going to be a little bit higher than
Okay.
I would have made it. So go ahead and make a fight check.
Oh, good. That's 20. Yeah,
Blow it up.
14.
Okay. 13 was what I was looking for.
Oh,
A task where success is extraordinary, but decidedly possible for characters who are truly skilled at it. So you're shaking, but
I
you're
go every week to the
you go every week to the range. So
instinct, Martha.
you kind of like
instinct.
take in like your breath, and you like close your eyes, do like that moment beat, and then you start firing in quick succession, like you're shooting at the creature, and you unload the clip. And it seems like the thing like falls backwards, like, and it's on its back now, and like more of the smell is like permeating the hallway.
Man.
What did you get on
I
your
had a
grip?
6.
Okay, you're just like wetting yourself.
Yeah. I haven't gone to the bathroom in so long and I had so much root beer.
I'm kind of in shock. Jimmy, what was your next move gonna be?
Wait, but what about the tentacle thing? What grabbed me? Where is go?
I don't know, dear. I don't know. This is a little bit much to take in.
He's not the only one.
I don't know what this is. I don't know what they're doing,
But
Tony.
how did this thing happen? Obviously, there's something like how did he become a were-skunk? And then what is going on here? There's a deeper, I hate to say it, conspiracy.
There's got to
Do
be
you have
explanation.
theories, Uncle Bart?
The government has run this facility. It's just what they built it. They built it, and then they put these creatures in them.
Maybe he was just born with some like genetic mutation.
Oh, jeez, Martha.
He was
I don't know.
fine back when we played chess at the school.
I know, but puberty does weird things to some people.
Wait.
What are you talking about? Don't say those words.
What if he was
Puberty
eating the
doesn't
meat?
do that to anyone.
When the hormones take over, strange things can happen.
What if he
Who
was
do you
just
know
saying-
that ever
What
had
if he was
happened
eating
to?
the meat?
But I don't know. This is all just too much for me to make sense of.
Suddenly, the skunk were creature stands up.
Ah!
Are you out of bullets yet?
I think I am.
Yeah, you've unloaded the clip, and like you can see it's like standing up, and like the bullets are like popping out of its
Uh-oh.
body, and it looks pissed.
I have a yo-yo. We could try and like trip it up. Trip it up? I don't know.
It comes charging down the
I
hallway.
throw the gun at its head.
Okay,
That's all I got with me.
I have a yo-yo.
make a fight check.
Radio.
Fight check. All right, come on, Martha. No, 6.
So the difference between the two checks is 10.
Oh boy.
The failure is profound. There will
Do I
be
get 2
consequences
M&Ms?
for this failure.
I get an adversity token, right?
Yeah, you could use that.
I just got one because I failed.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Narrative. The attacker has full control over the narrative. They explain what the defender does in response to the attack and how ineffective this response is. I think
Little Jimmy.
the
always
effect,
did have a
the
temper.
defender is dead, or quite nearly dead. So this thing like pounces at you
Yeah.
and like rips your head off, just like that other creature.
No,
and
Martha!
blood is spraying over like
I'm
all of
sorry.
your faces.
I tried.
I'm sorry your husband was cheating on you and you were in denial about it.
I'm in denial a lot of things.
And so what do you do?
We run away.
Did I miss something? Did she just die?
I tried
Yeah.
to throw the gun at the creature as it got up again, but I failed miserably.
Yeah, the difference between the two rolls was a 10. And on a 10 or greater, it's there's text here
Yeah,
for.
it was bad. It was.
I just scream, Knights Rook 3 to 10, 6, 35. Checkmate!
You can see its gaze is turning to you as it's like slurping up blood.
Jimmy.
Yeah, talk to it. You know it. Start saying
You
chess
can kind of
stuff at
see
it.
like a glimmer of recognition
That last game was incredible. You really were getting the best of me. I can't say that too many people do that in a game of chess.
Make a charm roll.
That's not good.
I wouldn't think so.
8.
Oh.
Okay, that's
13.
13.
Okay. You could see that it starts to calm down, and even like its fur is like raised and starts to like kind of like come down, smooth out, and it starts to it sets down Martha's body and it starts sobbing, and it says, "Why didn't you look for me?"
I couldn't. The police had me at the station and they were grilling me for hours and hours. And there were people looking for you, but they didn't look in the right place.
Look at what they've done to me! They turned me into a skunk!
Who? Ask him who.
I think the skunks probably did it.
Thanks, genius.
Eugene is so smart. Beyond the
So I heard
grave.
just somebody's head.
No, it's just the echo of the memory because I said it a lot. So.
Is this the government agents? Are they running this place?
He's like nodding, yes.
Oh, if Martha could only be here to see this.
And he says, "I'm sorry, okay? I was out of control.
Sorry.
Here's something to
I stopped
occupy
eating the
you with.
meat."
Here's something to occupy you with while we work this out. I hand him a Rubik's Cube.
And then he just like throws it at the wall in frustration.
Oh.
No, I'm a monster!
We have to figure this out.
Do we? Could we just let the police figure it out?
And then he says, and then he's like getting crazy again. He's like, "I'm hungry!"
Did they tell him why?
I think we better leave
Why
him.
did they turn him into a skunk?
He's becoming like more like bestial looking.
Why aren't you eating the meat?
Really, Eugene?
Run,
really?
guys! Run! Hold out! Hold out as long as you can.
Eugene, make an intelligence check.
11.
Let me think about that. No, you can take an adversity token.
I failed, finally. Oh wait, I failed that grit check too. I've got 2.
What were you saying?
I said to run, and I told Jimmy to hold out as long as he could. Fight it, Jimmy. And we tear out of there. Head back to the.
Run?
Okay, everybody make a flight check then. He's changing. He's going back into bestial form. He starts galloping towards the group.
Ow!
That didn't sound good.
1.
Ooh.
What does this say?
It's a 4?
4.
Oh, 4, but I have a +1. So 5.
Okay,
12.
so he's going after you. Make a fight check.
Six.
Okay, so as he pounces on you, he brings you to the ground, but you roll him over and you get on top of him, so you've got the upper hand. The attacker, the defender gets to explain how they respond. So I guess I shouldn't say that you roll over, but he tackles you, brings you to the ground, but then you get to describe what happens.
All right, I was still holding my shovel, and I kind of swing the shovel into his head a little bit, and was able to get out from underneath him. Then
Okay, so you get back up and then you're running?
well, yeah, I don't think I should stick around to fight him blow for blow.
Okay. So he starts taking off. What did you have for your flight?
12.
Okay, you're okay. How about you?
It was 5.
Okay. So you just blow past the little girl.
Nice.
And then
Asshole!
the problem is the problem
You
with
never visit.
the problem with your niece is that she was attacked by that vine, so she's limping
Oh,
as she's going, and like the thing like comes running towards you.
Well, I'm not gonna. I have flight, but I'm not gonna leave her behind.
Okay.
So,
Because she's loyal, right?
yeah, I'm loyal as well. So I'll be like pulling. And I think I can give her. I have the loyal, so I can give her adversity things. For her next thing,
And
maybe?
it's plus
I don't know.
2.
Okay. So.
I guess a fight.
Mm-hmm.
I will give her 2.
Okay.
I'm gonna eat them.
We're not that
5.
generous.
5.
What 4?
9.
Maybe it occurs to you. You use reverse. He said he was hungry and he hadn't been eating the meat, but you had picked it up to study, and you're realizing that it has a docile effect. So, like, you quickly hand it to you, and like as it comes to like grab you or like eat your face off, you like throw it into its mouth,
Okay.
and like it just suddenly like starts to get really docile. It never like clamps its jaws down on your arm that you've got in its throat, and it just kind of like starts to like almost like diminish in size maybe a little bit, and then like it sits down on the ground and just starts like staring at the wall.
Okay.
Come over to this room, Jimmy.
It gets up and it's like, what's in there?
A
Is there
chessboard.
Oh, I like chess. Okay,
Yeah.
I'll go with you.
Alright, now you stay there and I'm gonna send you a letter later with the moves.
Okay, I can
Alright?
do that.
Yeah, so just wait here until that letter comes.
Okay.
Yeah. Let's go, Tommy.
Jesus, let's get out of here.
We gotta find Mr. Nelson. Barty.
Uncle Bart, where did you go?
You see him up ahead at a door, you know, and then the green light, and he's like fleeing.
Sure.
Thanks a lot, Uncle Bart.
So you end up what heading back home,
Well, where even is home? His car's destroyed.
Yeah, too bad no one took the keys off of Martha. For
Wait, oh yeah, wait. So you had a map, right? And you said the sewers were kind of like the or the tunnels were kind of like the whatever. So if we find like one of the buildings on the map and we go look for like a tunnel that comes up by it, we could be safe.
Okay, sure, let's do that.
Uh-huh.
All right.
Sure, let's wander through the sewers. I'm gonna complain about it the whole time, but I'll do it.
All right.
So the three of you end up climbing up a ladder, and you open up like a manhole cover or whatever, and you're coming up to the festivities at the pumpkin festival,
Oh,
and like
boy.
people are having like a great old time, and you're all like
Covered in
blood
goo.
splattered, or you got sewage or whatever, and that's I think where the story ends. At least this chapter of it.
Nice.
I'm not sure whether I want to come up or not because there's a crowd there.
Poor
I
Martha.
drag him up because we gotta hose him off.
Yeah.
I hope Holly at least won the pie contest because she's gonna get some really bad news later.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, so the three of you come up, and then Holly's the one in like your grade,
Yeah.
right? She comes running up to the two of you, and she's like, "Hey, have you guys seen my mom?"
Well, part of it.
Party! And she just looks puzzled. What does that mean, creepo?
Holly,
Someone else
we got
tell her.
some
I don't
bad
want to
news.
tell her.
And then like we have no audio, and we just see like a sobbing girl, and the scene like fades out, credits roll.
God.
That's okay. Her stepmom Janine will be great for her. As she
What
gets
about like old man Jenkins or whatever the hell his name
Old
was.
Man
Jeffers?
Jeffers, yeah, like he must have been behind this crap, right?
Doobie doobie doo. We don't know.
Well, what did you guys think of Kids on Bikes?
Oh my gosh.
I like
That
it
was
still.
fun.
Yeah, that was fun.
It's funny.
Yeah.
I like making backstory.
Oh yeah, that was really kind of fun.
Yeah, I think the system for like developing, just like on the fly, like developing like this is the city and this is what's going on, and then we're just gonna dump. Like it kind of almost seems like it shouldn't work a little bit, like being able to do it like that, and then like having your characters just be these siloed characters, but then you ask those questions, and then all of a sudden you're a tied together party. Like it seems like no matter what, that's gonna happen. Like,
Yeah.
there was even like some concern I think I had with your character being such a loner and like kind of not being tied to the group. I was like, I'm not sure how that's gonna like work it in.
Well, he-
But I think it helped when you said like he's my uncle,
Right.
and then that like brought the tie in to like rationalize how does he's go into the action.
Well, and I think that was fun. Like
Well,
the
yeah.
characters develop by each other too. So it's like
Yeah.
as long as we're all open to the, oh yeah, that'll be me, sure.
Yeah.
What were you gonna say?
Well, I said even though your rumor about me with the missing kid 10 years ago, that almost tied it in too, in a
Right.
weird sort of way.
Well, yeah, I was gonna use
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
It was funny, like I had like 6 minutes then, like after we had concluded everything, to like write down like every possible like maybe this, maybe that. That's basically what I wrote down was just like a bunch of maybes, like depending on what you guys did.
Maybe a giant skunk mutant?
Right. Where skunk? Sure.
This is what I wrote. Action should pick up at the day of the Great Pumpkin Festival. The lost chess player is now 20 years old. Maybe he's being held by the Skunk Lodge. The night of the big game is here. And then I
Go
didn't
Fighting Orange!
Didn't finish that sentence. There's a lack of pumpkins this year because of what happened at the McDougal's. There is a wild patch over by the old windmill, and I had decided at that time when I wrote this, Bobby was going to be the name of the chess player. Bobby is living in the windmill.
Bobby.
He escaped from Area 50.
You
That's all I wrote.
You-
So
pretty cool.
you
that's
know
I
what he
driving
was
towards.
using for material to make this from, right?
What's that?
The Stranger Than series that you were watching.
Well, it's kind of the game. I mean,
Is it? Yeah.
I mean, that's what Kids and Bikes is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of based on.
If it didn't feel that way, then it would have been a problem.
Oh, because I had seen you watch it, and there was the pumpkin patch that was all poisoned, and
Really?
Yeah,
That's
I
so weird
forgot
because
about
we
that.
were all putting pieces, and I don't watch horror things at all because I get too freaked out.
I don't
So
think
it's
is there a pumpkin patch?
Yeah.
there-
in
what
the
they're-
Stranger
they're-
Then, yeah, that was that pumpkin patch that the sheriff went out to.
Or was it? It was some sort of.
It was
yeah,
it was a
getting
pumpkin patch,
poisoned
and it
by
was
the-
all rotten pumpkins because it got all
Oh,
oh my
poison.
goodness.
So
what at the last episode?
Are you doing spoilers?
No. No, it was like during the season. Second season, somewhere, I think.
oh, I thought you were watching it. I thought you knew that.
See, it's just that good.
I didn't realize that it was a pumpkin patch. I guess.
Yep. He was the sheriff was called out to that pumpkin
I
farm.
put the pumpkin patch in there because of the pumpkin festival.
Yeah.
I was like,
Yeah.
what? I need
Well,
to
and
have.
then the
and he was
McDougal's-
blaming his neighbor for sabotaging his pumpkin patch. It's all they were all rotten.
Mm.
But this
Okay,
one was
I
the
do remember
aliens.
that now.
It was the aliens that were dusting in our story.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah, I
Maybe.
don't know. I was like the alien thing. I was just use that as like the conspiracy thing.
Mhm.
That was fun.
Alright.
Well, thanks everybody for watching. Hope you were entertained. It was entertaining to run it. So, thanks to our players for sticking it out and helping us tell our story. Yeah, we've got stuff going on in the stream next week, but Tuesday, Dragon Heist, 7 p.m. What else? Clash of Shields is at 7 p.m. on Thursday, and Tales of the Shutter Mountains is back next Friday at 8 p.m. So check those things out. Otherwise, yeah,
It'll be on
we'll-
tomorrow morning.
we will be on tomorrow morning to actually interview the creators of Kids on Bikes. So that'll be kind of cool. So if there's something that you had a question about, something you didn't understand, something you want to know more about, feel free to stop by tomorrow and get your questions asked. You can type them in the chat and I'll ask them your questions. So, cool. Thanks everybody. We will see you soon.
Bye.